Chapter 33. Arcanum number 11. In the Kabbalah, this arcanum is known as the Arcanum of Persuasion. In essence, persuasion is a force of subtle spiritual order. Occult wisdom says, intensify the flame of the spirit with the force of love. In itself, love is a powerful, omnipotent force. The force of love keeps the worlds about their centers of cosmic gravity. These cosmic centers of gravity are the suns. It is due to this that Hermes Trismegistus says, I give you love in which is contained the whole summum of wisdom. A soft word pacifies anger. Persuasion has more power than violence. If a violent person wishes to attack, one directs a friendly word to him, and this mollifies his violence. It is for this reason that in Arcanum number 11, there is a woman opening the jaws of a lion. That is the living force of persuasion. Considering this more deeply, we find the double-headed lion, which represents the two lands, the visible and the invisible. The lion itself is a very important, very interesting animal. In Atlantis, they served as draft animals. They pulled carriages, were tame. After the submersion of Atlantis, they became savage. The lion is a living symbol of fire. Observe the Sphinx, which has the claws of the lion, representing the fire. In the Aztec calendar or sunstone, there are lion's claws. These claws have a very grandiose meaning. If we add number 11 Kabbalistically, 1 plus 1 equals 2, we get Arcanum number 2, which is the priestess, occult science, the Divine Mother. She herself is living fire, and for this reason, in the Orient, she is called Devi Kundalini in the individual, and Maha Kundalini in the macrocosmic. It is vital to learn to work with the fire, and for this reason, the 2 breaks down Kabbalistically into one man plus one woman who must work with the fire, in the magistery of fire. The chariot pulled by lions is a very esoteric allegory, and comes from most ancient times. The chariot represents the human being, the lion fire. It is none other than a living symbol of the solar man, the sun man. When the chariot is spoken about, it is an allusion to the internal bodies of man, the vital, astral, mental. The real being must mount that chariot. The Zohar depicts the Ancient of Days traveling across the infinite in his chariot. Without doubt, the real being must always travel in his chariot in order to work in the worlds. The lions of fire are the synthesis of this Kabbalistic number because 11 breaks down into 1 plus 1 equals 2, and the 2 into 2 units, man-woman, the 2 columns of the temple, Jachin and Boaz. Between those 2 columns is the Arcanum. Analyzing this Arcanum, we come in the end to the Magistery of Fire. The sacred fire cannot be awakened with pranayama, nor with respiratory exercises combined with meditation. All these achieve is that tiny fractions or sparks stimulate the awakening of the chakras. Such sparks ascend to one or another of the centers, but this does not mean that the serpent has been raised. Agni, the god of fire, assists the fire to awaken, but working in the 9th sphere. Single persons can help themselves with practices of pranayama in order to raise sparks. That does not mean, however, that they will raise the serpent. We have a furnace, which is the coccyx, or Muladhara chakra. There, according to the indications of the alchemists, the recipient must be placed. Within this recipient is the mercury of secret philosophy, or ens seminis, within which is found the ens virtutis. The recipient must be closed so as to impede the materia prima, the semen, from being completely lost. The laboratory has a chimney through which the vapors must ascend. This is the spinal column. And a distillery which is in the brain for distilling the pure gold. This is the laboratory of the medieval alchemists who transformed lead into gold. Many persons scorn the elementals, and this we must not do. The salamanders tend the fire, The ondanes are in the materia prima, enclosed within its recipient. The ondines assist us if we dominate them. If not, they do as they wish because they are very capricious. The sylphs make rise the vapors, which are given off from the materia prima. The gnomes take charge of the materia prima in the brain to distill it so that it becomes gold. I have known true devas of fire. I have been in contact with them. They live in the causal world, or world of conscious will. They told me that beyond clairvoyance is intuition, which is superior because it pertains to pure spirit. With clairvoyance, one can investigate the superior or inferior regions of the molecular world. The intuition, on the other hand, functions directly in the world of pure spirit. Because of this, the intuition is superior. Intuition has its root in the pineal gland, the Sahasrara chakra, or thousand-petaled lotus. That faculty is related with Shiva, or the blazing fire, and for that reason gives us access to the world of pure spirit. In the human being, 49 fires can exist. The 7 chakras or churches on 7 levels gives as a result 49 fires. 7 times 7 equals 49. There are different types of fire. The fire of lightning, that which is concentrated in plants. The fire which blazes in the interior of the mountains, and which the volcanoes vomit forth upon the earth. The fire which is used for cooking. The fire of each world. In synthesis, however, we may speak of 2, solar fire and lunar fire. The solar fire is Christic, sublime is Devi Kundalini. The lunar fire is luciferic, negative, fatal. The solar fire crystallizes into worlds, suns, universes. The lunar fire crystallizes in all of those entities which form the animal ego. Man has to develop the 49 fires in his chakras. Synthesis. Arcanum 11 is the work with the fire, with the force of love, to turn us into living flames. The ondines work in the ens semines. The salamanders have the lighted fire. The sylphs raise the vapors. The gnomes distill the ens semines in the brain. The creatures of the water are conjured with a glass in the hand. The creatures of the air are ruled with the feather of a bird. The creatures of the earth are conjured with the staff, or crozier. The creatures of the fire are conjured with the sword.